Your favourite song, Johnny?
I'm head bopping here.
He thought Adam Fogarty wrote the song.
Yeah, who's it? Roots?
It's the Roots.
And I'm giving.
But never mind the Roots. This is Irish Boxing Radio, and we're going to be going through interviews with Matthew Macklin, Carl Frampton, Mark Dunlop from Peace Promotions in Belfast. And we also have, we're going to be looking at new prospects on the show now over the next couple of months. And today we have Tony Brown, who
you're very impressed with.
Yes, seen him fight before. Amazing talent. And other people have noticed it too. He's been doing a bit with Phil Sutcliffe down in Crumlin, but he's trained by Stephen O'Rourke. But should we get into that in about...
And you're leaving out another new prospect.
20 minutes time. Oh, Timsy. Well, Timsy's beyond the prospect. He's a legend. We're going to be talking to Ian Thames ahead of his big fight. And stay tuned. Going to be a good show.
Irish Boxing Radio, your number one stop for all things Irish boxing.
Okay, we're joined on the line by Mark Dunlop from Peace Promotions based in Belfast. Thanks for taking the call there.
Yes, thank you guys. Thanks for all your support.
No problem. Can you tell us a bit about this card that's coming up?
Yes, we have a fantastic card with basically we've got 6, possibly 7 good fights lined up.
Yeah.
It's almost a prep for the Ulster Hall on the 13th of October. It's on the Holiday Inn in Belfast in 2 weeks' time, the 8th of September, Saturday night.
And who's going to be on the card there, Mark?
Yeah, we've got Luke Wilton at flyweight. He's fighting the Bulgarian number 1, a guy called Galan Punov, over 6'3". Young James Tennyson from Polglass in Belfast. He's fighting Fikret Ramirez over 4'3". This will be James's pro debut. He's a 3-time Irish champion, and he's just basically come back from Portugal. He won a multi-nations gold medal, and he's keen to get in the pro ranks so as soon as possible. He's just turned 19. We've also got Willie Thompson from Ballyclare, who, if Willie comes through this fight well, he's been granted a crack at the Irish light middleweight title against Lee Murda on the Ulster Hall on the 13th of October as well. Young Matthew Wilton, who's looking to improve his record to 2-0. That's my partner Alan Wilton's son. And obviously Brendan Fitzpatrick from Dublin, who's looking to build his career again after a loss against Kieran Healy, which by all means wasn't expected.
Mark,
so things are going really well.
And this is a build-up, you said, to the Saturday fight night at the Ulster Hall.
Yes.
Who's Mark Heffron's on that card, is he?
No, Mark Heffron's injured his wrist again. He's had a bit of trouble for a while with his wrist. There's 12 fighters down on that. You know, everyone's busting to get on the Ulster Hall bill. So basically, we needed to get some of the boys a run out before then, which is why we've got the Holiday Inn on the 8th of September booked.
And they're generally good shows, them Holiday Inn shows, Mark.
Oh, they're fantastic. It's grassroots boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, they can only get 450 to 500 people in there, so they're always a sellout. Yeah. And the atmosphere is absolutely electric.
And I was reading there in the press release you sent the other day, you're looking at every 5 to 6 weeks to try and have a show. You think it's important to keep all the lads busy? Would they be all Ulster Hall shows, or
no, because obviously Ulster Hall is very hard to get, and there's a lot of strict conditions to let us have a show in there, which they've all been met for the 13th of October. The next one will be the 23rd the next show will be the 24th of November, possibly at the Holiday Inn again.
Yeah.
We're still to seal the venue up there, and that'll be like a Christmas show for all the boxers doing a few pounds for Christmas. And then after that, we're looking to get away again with the Ulster Hall book for the 24th of February.
And is Luke...
It'll be every six weeks.
Yeah, and that's great news, because with yourself, Emerald, and probably Eddie doing a lot in Belfast, it's fairly flying up there. Are you looking for a title for Luke on the October the 13th show?
Yes.
Because he's number 1 ranked in the flyweight now, isn't he, in the British?
Yes, we've got a major title fight, but obviously I don't want to spoil the surprise, so I'll have to keep
Too late now, Mark.
You can tell us, Mark.
I'm sure I can tell you, but I can't tell you what it is just until after the Holiday Inn. We're trying to get an opponent for it, so this is Luke's warm-up fight. And it's been a long time coming. You know, the Wiltons have done a lot for boxing in Belfast in fact Ireland over the years. So it's good to give something back to the sport, to the grassroots people.
Yeah, and I was just in the press release you were talking about some of the troubles up there at the moment in the boxing community. I think one club sort of felt victimised. Now, anytime I'm up there myself, or any relations I've had in boxing, I've never noticed any it's probably the one sport where there's no sectarianism and everyone seems to mix. And I wouldn't be an expert on the situation now, but this across community event or card, or I presume most of them are anyway. Or
this the craziness of it all. I mean, this is what has attracted peace promotions to the boxing game. Basically, is because it's kids from all cross communities. I mean, this card itself alone has got people from all religions really boxing on the same bill. It's crazy, and even Dublin coming up. With busloads coming up to support Brendan Fitzpatrick to say, and again, the gyms. What I'm trying to do is unite all the gyms together because, I mean, Ireland is starved of professional boxing. There's no doubt about that. There's kids been sitting for a year waiting for someone to put their money where their mouth is and organise a show. And to be honest, we were all fed up with kids from down south and up north being taken to England and used as cannon fodder for the English fighters. Let's bring it all back to here again, try and get the good times. So this whole bill itself is from all denominations and all communities.
But do you think it's an issue, Mark? Or
to be honest, it's an issue I've never seen. But
myself as well.
People just don't make things up. So let's try and iron out whatever problems there is. I think that the problems that you were talking about there could be, a lot to do with amateur. As well. Obviously,
well, I'm just saying because you mentioned it in your sort of press release, that this was, and it seemed important to yourselves.
Well, as it is, and as I say, I have yet to see it myself. I mean, the madness of it is we're bringing kids all over to all the different gyms sparring from everywhere, from every side, and no one's ever had anything said or no problem, and everyone's supporting both boxers, which is so important. Because you have to take into consideration what's happening. I mean, these guys are putting their life on the line, to entertain us and try and earn a good living and some fame and fortune for themselves. So you've got to respect that no matter what.
Yeah. Well, listen, Mark, thanks for taking the call and keep us posted on the shows coming up, and hopefully we can try and get some of the fighters on as well over the next couple of months as well.
Yes, I will do. Thank you.
Right. No problem. Thanks for taking the call.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
What do Matthew Macklin, Ian Timms, Eddie Hearn and Paul Imaginelli all have in common? They're always locked into Irish Boxing Radio.
Our next guest is no stranger to Irish Boxing Radio and definitely no stranger to our listeners. Carl Frampton, hello.
How's it going?
Carl, thanks for taking the call and congratulations on that win over Herales. It was a masterful performance in my opinion.
No, thanks very much. Thank you. Some people thought it was a bit boring, but I thought it was okay myself.
The purists liked it, Carl, and that's what matters,
That's what matters.
He's claiming to be a purist now.
Not as pure as Johnny Hips here beside me, but pure enough. Tell us, so you're training for Steve Molitor, definitely your toughest fight to date.
Yeah, easily my toughest fight to date, and I think a tougher fight than Kiko Martinez. And when he pulled out, I was disappointed. Disappointed that he cried off again, but. Not to say I expected, but I kind of had it in the back of my head that there was a chance it was going to happen. But I think this is a blessing in disguise because Molitor's a bigger name and it's a bigger win when I beat him.
When that happens, Carl, I don't know how quick you heard that Molitor was stepping in. Did you know straight away, or was there a week of?
It was sort of. I remember I got told that Martinez had pulled out.
Yeah.
The day that he pulled out, and on the same day they'd been in touch with Molitor already because they tried to, they were talking to him before we actually got the fight with Martinez, and they were in negotiations with him, but whatever happened, it fell through. But this time he says he was ready to take it. So
it was the spirit.
He said he's been in training for a long time as well, so he's going to be well up for it.
Yeah, and are you happier to have him than Kiko, or is?
Well, I would like to have. I think Kiko. I don't know. It's a strange one because in Ireland Kiko's a bigger name, obviously, because he beat Bernard Dunn and the stuff he pulled out a fight with McCulloch and myself once before, so he's a name in Ireland, but worldwide Molitor is far more renowned and well known. So it kind of works both ways. I was disappointed, but I think when you look at the bigger picture, Molitor's a better fight and a bigger name.
Yeah, and even just because the Kiko fight is gone now, can you kind of tell us without political correctness or whatever, like, do you think you could have stopped them or knocked them out, or what were you expecting to do against them?
I really think, to be honest, I think the way it would have worked was I would have frustrated him. I don't think he can deal well with boxers. Yeah. people who like to keep it long, and I think it would have frustrated him, and then I think it would have stopped him later on, and I think he knows that too. And at the press conference, the first press conference we had, I looked the guy in the eye, and his eyes were darting all over the place. He didn't stare me out once. He didn't look right directly into my eyes, and I kind of had a feeling,
You probably knew back then that he was going to pull out.
Well, I had a feeling, and we discussed it, that there's a chance that he's always going to pull out, and I didn't want it to happen, but it did. But as I said before, we could have took an easier option and got an easier guy in the fight. But I want to keep the fans happy, and I want to keep improving myself. So there's no point fighting some mug when you could be fighting guys like Steve Molitor.
Yeah, and we're probably reflecting too much on Kiko now. If you look, Steve Molitor is an absolute massive fight, and I think one of you win it. Barry was suggesting when we were up there during the last week that you could be two fights away from a world title fight. Yeah,
that's all, and it's getting close now, and depending on how I do against Molitor, we're going to know a lot. And I think I could get rid of this guy as well. He's only been stopped once, and that's by Caballero, and we all know how good he was. So if I do a good job on Molitor, I'm touching world. Just touching for a world title. I'm not far away from it, and I'm ready for the top of the division. All of them. We're talking about names like Nishioka and Donaire, and
What about Regan
pretty
though?
close to them guys. Well, I think he's the best.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he's the best out of super bantamweights, and he's the one that, if I was going to stay away from anyone for as long as possible, he would be the one. But
But
I'm
even
ready to fight
Donaire, you'll be ready for it. They're massive fights, aren't they?
I think I'll be ready to fight Donaire.
Donaire's
in
a huge
couple
fight.
Of fights time. They're all massive fights, and I don't want to be people listening to this and going, Frampton's talking out his arse, but believe me, I'm ready to fight the best in the world.
Well, your profile's up there now, anyway.
Carl, what about Quigg and Monroe? Are they out of the picture now?
Well, I don't know. I would still love a fight. The fight I would love is Scott Quigg, because he has a lot of fans and people who think that he would beat me. But I know for a fact that he wouldn't. I know I would knock the guy out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fans, especially in England, who think otherwise. But if I beat Molitor, I would say I'm past Quigg.
Yeah.
But I would still be well open for a fight, because I know how big a fight it is, and I'd still be willing to fight him.
Their promotional situation, and I know Eddie Hearn has signed the 2-year Sky deal, which is kind of good for yourself as well. Their promotional situation means they probably need you now, after saying that you were number 3 and they didn't want to be going back or whatever. They need you now, so they probably easier to make.
We're in a much better position, and you're right, they need us. We've got TV, we've got dates with Sky. They're still looking for TV dates, and we're in pole position at the minute. And once I do a job on Molitor, we're going to see, if they come chasing us. I doubt they will. I doubt they want to fight us. But I hope they do. I hope it does come about, because Quigg is a fight that I would love, and I want to prove that I'm the best in the world one day. But first, I want to prove I'm the best in Britain. But it's just about these guys letting me fight them, and they haven't as of yet. But we're in pole position now, and they may come asking now.
Have you been watching much of Molitor's previous action?
I've seen some of his stuff. He's a lovely boxer. He's not a massive puncher, but I'm sure he can sting a bit. He likes to keep it long. And he's been involved in a lot of 12-round fights. Yeah. So it's not going to be anything new to him. And he'll be training hard, and he says that he's had a bit of a break and he's feeling refreshed and he's coming back stronger. So I think he's well up for this. And he's travelled. I think he came to the UK 4 times before.
He fought Jason Booth, didn't he?
He fought Jason Booth, yeah. He fought another few guys. Michael Hunter, who he dismantled.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure who else he fought, but I think it was 4 times he's been over here, and he's won comfortably each time. But
his last fight though wasn't since.
Unlucky for him.
He hasn't fought since 2011. Do you think that's an advantage or a disadvantage to be inactive for that long?
Well, it could work both ways. He's saying himself that he's recharged the batteries. He's had a bit of a break, and he's fired up again. He wants it again. So he's hungry and he wants it. So it's probably to his benefit this time a little bit. It's it's probably going to benefit him, I think, because he's just had time to recharge and relax and see what he wants to do, and he he wants it again. He wants to be a world champion again.
Well, hopefully this one will propel you towards world title status.
I think that it's both. Whoever wins this fight is knocking on the door for another shot at the world title, and me from my first shot. So it's a massive fight, guys, and both guys want to win.
Well, you're getting big when you're on this show twice. Never mind ringside
well, I know, definitely, mate.
Never mind ringside for 20 minutes during the week. But thanks for taking the call, Carl, and hopefully we talk to you soon.
Okay, lads.
And all the best on September the 22nd.
Thank you.
Best of luck, Carl. Thanks.
All right.
This is your monthly audio update of all things Irish boxing.
If you listen to our jingles, you'll hear that one of the people that listens to our show is Ian Timms, and he's on the line now. Thanks for taking the call, Ian.
All right, lads. How's things?
Not too bad. You know you're one of our biggest listeners.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And we're your biggest fans.
Good stuff.
Timms, you have a big fight coming up now in the 24th against Tony Conquest.
The 7th.
Oh, the 7th?
7th, yeah.
So it's this week coming?
Yeah, Friday week, yeah.
Jane, I should get sacked. The 7th, well then, and it's live on Box Nation. Would this be your biggest fight today? I know you had Happy last time out, and it kind of didn't. You done well for yourself, but it didn't work out for you.
Yeah, that was a cracking fight. I can't really complain about the fight. I didn't train and nothing went to plan. You know what I mean?
Because your arm was sore, wasn't it?
I had no sparring. I had no running. I had a few problems. You've probably seen in the paper and that.
Yeah.
Nothing went to plan, and then.
But you gave him a good go, didn't you?
Well, you see, I had it in my head what I was going to do, but we had an awful clash of heads in the first round, and I was out cold about 8 rounds. I remember taking the pass. What rounds is the 4? No, this is 12. Already, so it's the flying through.
But you were close to winning it. You didn't.
Yeah, we thought we won. We thought we won with 2 or 3 rounds. It was cracking fight and enjoyed. It was the people and all were great over there. So
Yeah. But what about this fight coming up then? So you've full training. You will see a difference.
Gone perfect.
Yeah.
I was training hard. I was in the States for a couple of weeks training, and come back here then and picked up back here. I'm not getting go to 100 round sparring in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Genie.
I'm doing strength and conditioning down in BG Fitness with Brian Guy, same for Steve Mann and that. So I feel good, feel strong, and everything's going great.
And would it be your biggest fight today? I know he's only 9 fights, and he'd probably be at the novice stage, and it's for a WBO European title.
Same as me. I've only got 10 fights, so
Well, you probably have a little more experience, Timsy, with amateur background and that.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know what I mean? It counts up when you're in the ring, really.
Yeah.
But, it's like tactics and all. I haven't to watch him now. I haven't bothered watching him. No, I'm not worried about him.
Do you even know what he looks like, Timsy?
No.
He's a handsome fella.
So ahead. That's good.
He won't be handsome after he faces Timsy.
Well, that's it. But I don't worry about him. I don't worry about anyone. I worry about me. Once I can do what I do in the ring, and he's nice. From what I hear, he's a nice fella. He's a decent boxer, so I have to make it a great fight,
Yeah.
But look, I was at the ring once I get in the ring. Me, I love a good tear up.
Yeah.
I hope he's not too good looking, because I don't like messing people. Too much, yourself.
But Timsy, it's live on Box Nation and that, isn't it? So it is a big chance to showcase yourself, and at 32, a chance for yourself maybe to get a big fight in the future. Or
well, hopefully, first and foremost, I'm there for the win,
Yeah.
But like that, yeah, it's probably the biggest chance for me now, Box Nation Live, and just get on a good performance, and hopefully, fitness is no problems around like that, you know what I mean? So, we've no excuses, go in and do a job and see what happens.
Yeah, and the titles, you excited about winning them, or?
Yeah, of course, yeah, that's what boxing's about, winning titles and stuff like that, The money helps, but yeah, excited about it,
And will you be doing some TV stuff with Box Nation, even getting the profile up with some? Well, we probably won't be able to get you this time next month.
Stevie Bunce shows ring me.
They do a Monday show, yeah.
They're ringing me on Monday, yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking out the window there, the boys are yeah, Stevie Bunce doing they're doing a phone interview with him on Monday, so I think Conquest was on last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not just saying, you can't go to England fight. It doesn't bother me, you know.
Yeah.
I went to Finland and fought in front of 3,500 people. It doesn't bother me going to England fight in front of anyone else.
Yeah.
So, which is really up for it now, you know. Like I said, training's gone perfect, sparring's gone perfect. Nearly there now, so.
Yeah. Well, you seem relaxed about it. We're probably a little bit more excited, Timsy. We'll keep in touch and let us know how you get on. Sure, we'll talk to you soon.
Get me excited, Johnny, you know. But yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll keep in touch with you.
No problem. We can talk to you probably next month, hopefully with two more belts.
All right, mate.
Take care.
Bye.
Irish Boxing Radio. Check us out on irishboxing.com.
We're now joined in the studio by a young prospect by the name of Tony Brown. Tony fights out of Crumlin. He's joined by his trainer Stephen O'Rourke, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his training, what he's up to, and what his plans are for the future. Tony, thanks for coming in.
No problem, thanks, John.
Thanks for having, it's good to have somebody in the studio for a change, Johnny, instead of looking at your ugly mug.
And we're a bit socialist. You don't have to be fighting for a world title to get your voice heard in this show.
So, Tony, what's the plans for the future? Are you fighting intermediate, senior, or what's the story?
Well, I'm just after coming off the back end of the holidays now, so I'm coming back into the season, and this will be my first season as a senior. So I'll probably start with the under-22s, and then I'll do the intermediates. I'll probably be looking at doing the seniors as well, just to get in as soon as possible, you know.
And were you training over the summer?
Yeah, I've been doing bits and bobs, but I'm back in the gym full time with Steve now, doing my conditioning and my pad work and whatnot, and I'll be getting back into sparring now at the end of this week.
Tony's joined here by his coach Stephen O'Rourke, who's fairly well known around Dublin and Ireland for training. You were looking after Anthony Fitzgerald, Steve, is that right?
Yeah, still looking after Anthony. He's back in training now, 5 weeks now. He's doing quite well, but he's got a couple of more weeks before he's totally fit.
Yeah, he was unlucky in the prize fight. It was a dinger of a fight, the one he was involved in.
Yeah, he fought very well in that fight. O'Kane just got the better of him. But I think it suited O'Kane better than Anthony because it was only 3 rounds, you know.
Yeah, and I think that was pretty.
O'Kane said he was wrecked after the fight. He says he's lucky it wasn't a fort, or he would have. Maybe he was gone. Yeah.
Anthony's good for a minute, but anyway, back to Tony. So, Tony, can you talk a little bit about your training, what you're up to, and like what an average day is like for you with your training?
Well, now that I'm back into training camp, I start the day early in the morning with Steve down in D12 at 6:30.
Where's D12?
Down it's just beside it's on Keeper Road, just in Drimna.
Drimna, okay. So you do most of your training there?
Yeah, I do my conditioning work and my pads work there, you know.
With Steve, okay.
The core work there. So we'd start the day with some skipping, warm up, then get into a bit of some tactical training, a bit of pad work and stuff, and then we'd finish off with maybe an hour or so conditioning, you know. So it's a strenuous workout.
And what about sparring?
Sparring, I haven't started sparring yet, but I'm going to be starting sparring the end of this week now. So I'm going to build my rounds up week by week. Hopefully start off maybe 4 rounds the first week, work up. I'll be hoping to be at about 12 rounds by the end, you know. So.
And have you sparred anybody we're talking about, or even fought?
I've been moving around the 50 for the prize fight.
Anthony Fitzgerald?
Yeah, I had a few move rounds with him and that was going well. I've sparred a couple of senior boxers from different clubs, you know. So there's a long list of people who I've been sparring with, so it's
good
hard
stuff
to put a name on. But,
and would you consider yourself well known around the circuit, or are you kind of like a new face?
I'd say, well, this will be my first year coming into the senior level, so I think it'll take a while for me to get my name out there, but hopefully I'll have a good start and get out there as soon as possible. You know?
Are you at it full time?
More or less, yeah.
For like 6 days a week?
Yeah, I'll be training 6 days a week, and I might go for a run on a Sunday then, you know. Jeez. So yeah, it's
you'd want to take some of that advice, Johnny.
6 hours a week.
Quit your boxercise now and start following Tony's regime. And so how many hours do you think you're putting in a day, Tony, roughly?
Well, between the morning session and the afternoon session, I'd say at the moment I'm doing about maybe 3 to 4 hours a day.
Quality. Yeah.
And I'd say coming up to fights with Steve, I'll be doing maybe 5 hours a day, you know. Which I don't think you could do much more with Steve.
No.
Probably drop. So.
Yeah. Steve is a notoriously tough pad man. Yeah. But so what's the end goal, Tony? Are you looking towards Olympics? Are you looking towards senior titles? What are you looking
well, after watching the Olympics, I think both Steve and I have penciled in Rio 2016. That's the ultimate goal at the moment, you know. Definitely.
And did I hear you'd sparred some of the Olympics team?
I was sparring with the high performance lads over the summer.
Okay.
They would have been essentially, you know, the second. There was intermediate sparring sessions as well that I went to, and So I was busy over the summer at the start of the summer sparring.
And how did that go? That sparring with the high performance guys?
That went well, yeah. Like it was a learning curve for me, because obviously I was coming off the youths, so that would have been my first sort of step up really. But I held my own with them, and in some cases I think I was doing well, So.
How old are you now, Tony?
I'm 17 at the moment.
17, right? Yeah. So you're putting in a lot of hard work for a 17-year-old.
Yeah, well.
And is the goal to try and get on the high performance unit as quick as possible, like go into seniors this year?
I mean,
would that be the? Yeah.
That would definitely be
nice. But is that I think
it's going to be a marathon to get to the Olympics, not a sprint. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it'll be taking in experience the whole time. But I mean, I'll be confident all the time going into fights. A fight can go either way if you've worked hard, I reckon.
And you're going at middleweight.
Yeah, middleweight, 75.
Steve, you've been around the block a long time. I think you started. You've actually fought professionally yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, well, two fights. Yeah.
2 fights, and you come from Manchester.
That's right, correct.
So you did a lot of training boxing over there.
Yeah, I was a amateur at about 250 fights.
So how 250 fights? And so how do you rate Tony out of what you've seen today?
I first met Tony about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been coaching now for the last 25 years. So it's kind of like sometimes a young fella walks in the gym and you see something special.
Yeah.
And I've seen something special in this kid. As you know, he more or less trains like an
animal,
a professional amateur.
Yeah.
A professional amateur, there's not many lads who'll come in the gym on a Monday morning at 6:30, freezing cold. He's absolutely dedicated, and this is what makes a difference with this kid. And he's dedicated. He trains. He eats right. His diet is right. His attitude is right. So it's all the makings of a great.
And what about the skills, Steve? Talk to us about this.
Tony's not a natural boxer.
Okay.
He has to work at everything. When he first came to me, he was a. I think he played rugby or something like that.
Right. Okay.
But we worked on his feet for about a year, just moving his foot. Yeah, I mean, you can't fault his feet work now. His hand speed, we're working on that at the moment. His hand speed, his head movement. So everything is like a jigsaw, and it's all starting to slowly piece
fall
together.
into place. Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a long way to go yet. But he's dedicated, and that's
the main thing. Yeah. All right, well, I think that pretty much wraps us up, unless you have anything else, Johnny.
No, it's nice to have you in, lads. Thanks for coming in.
It's nice to have us in, and it's nice to see somebody who's putting in the work at this.
Yeah, and hopefully in 4 years' time we'll be here talking about Tony winning
gold medals. So you know what you're hearing first. Right, thanks for coming in, Steve, and thanks for coming in, Tony. Take care.
Irish Boxing Radio, your number one stop for all things Irish boxing.
We're now joined on the line by somebody who needs no introduction. Matthew Macklin, how's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks, not so bad.
Are you in Spain, Matthew, or are you?
I am, yeah, in Spain training flat.
You're not over there with Paddy Barnes and Michael Collin, are you?
No.
Come here, did you open a gym?
Yeah, I didn't open it officially now. They'll open it officially after the fight, the end of September, but I've been training in the gym the last 10 weeks here, yeah, and putting my girl's been over as well.
And myself and Johnny get free membership, is that right?
Oh, exactly, definitely.
We'll be over soon. So how's training going, Matt?
Going well, yeah, no, very good. I've had good sparring. It's about 10 rounds there Saturday, 10 on Tuesday with I don't know, remember a guy called Ruben Varane.
Yeah.
Title with him and Joe Selkirk, a lad from Liverpool who's kind of 9-0 and he's a good prospect. So between the two of them now, I've had some real good work with them.
And I don't want to sound stupid. So how do you pronounce your opponent's name? Is it Alcine?
Alcine. Alcine. I'm not sure either. Some people say Alcine, some say Alcine. So
well, the main thing
tomato.
He's a two-time world champion.
Exactly, the two-time world champion. Former world champion. He's only lost to two world champions, and Fredo Angulo and Daniel Santos. So and he's coming off a good win now. He's up at middleweight now, and he's coming off a really good win over David Lemio, or however you pronounce his name. And he was like being touted for big things. So he's coming into it with a good bit of form, and I suppose if he looked upon as a kind of not a crossroads fight, but or a 50-50 fight, but almost like an unofficial eliminator, because I think the idea is whoever wins here
gets Martinez, or
will get the winner of the Martinez Chavez fight. I think particularly if Chavez was to beat Martinez, then I think I'll definitely get that fight. come through this fight.
We actually haven't spoken to you since the Martinez fight. You were unlucky. It was a great performance. I thought the way you boxed at the beginning of the fight was unbelievable.
Yeah, I think we got the tactics spot on, and I think it threw him a little bit. I think he was probably expecting me to be a bit more aggressive, like I was for Stern. But there's styles make fights, and that wasn't. We felt that wasn't the way to approach the Martinez fight. We needed to be smarter, give him a lot of feints, plenty of head movement, use the jab. And the plan worked well, and I think after 9 rounds I was ahead in all 3 cards, and even going into the 11th I think I was 3 up on 1 and only a round down on the other 2, but in fairness to me, stepped up a bit. Maybe I faded a little bit, and that's the way it goes, I suppose. But I take a lot of positiveness from the fight and a lot of confidence, and I feel we've had a good campaign now with Buddy, and that was my first fight with Buddy as well, and I hadn't boxed from the Stern fight. So first fight with Buddy since the campus fight in 2008. So I felt that things we were working on for the last fight, even though it's a different opponent, there's still similar things that we've stepped it up, and I feel more comfortable with Buddy again. So so I definitely feel that I'm going to put on a good performance, get a good win, and line myself up for a title shot at the end of the year or early next year.
Matthew, I know he's a tough opponent, and it still is a big fight, but coming from like Storm and then Martinez, is it hard to get sort of back up for an opponent like him, if you know what I mean?
No, not really, because there's everything to lose, and the reward if a win and win well is big. So no, not really. Like I've trained well now. I've had, like I say, Varan's a good fighter. He gave me a tough fight when I beat him that time, and Joe Salkirk's a good lad that's probably going places. So I've had good sparring, tough sparring. I've kept on my toes, and the reward at the end of the with a good win here is massive. So I'm very focused on the fight, and I just can't wait now to box in Vegas.
Yeah, would you have a preference between Martinez and
has to be Chavez?
I'd probably Chavez. Stylistically, Martinez is a nightmare, and I thought we got the tactics right, but he was still very awkward, and very unorthodox, very hard to prepare for. Where Chavez is going to stand right in front of me, and I just think that stylistically he suits me a lot more.
Would you be worried about his size though, Matthew? Like the difference between when he weighs in to when he gets into the ring is immense. I think it's
21 pounds.
21 pounds or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and it is, and look, it seems to be, it is an advantage, but I don't know, there has to be some point in the fight where it becomes a disadvantage. Yo-yoing up and down like that can't be good. Something's got to give, and maybe and Andy Lee hit him a couple of body shots, and he was moaning about low blows, and I just wonder maybe him going down and then coming up so heavy. Maybe he doesn't like getting hit to the body punch, and he's a good body puncher himself, and a lot of good body punchers don't like getting hit to the body themselves. So that'd be something if he does beat Martinez, then and I do get the fight, then that's something I'd certainly be targeting.
It's a great fight to be on the card. Are you going to sit and watch it yourself after, Matthew?
Yeah, definitely, because like I say, I'm very interested in the outcome. So
who are you picking?
I'm focused. I'm swaying. I think Martinez on points, but I wouldn't be shocked. You know what I mean? If Chavez managed to pull it off.
Even if Chavez doesn't, it's still a fight there for you, is it? Like
it's still a great fight, but I mean, and Gale and Stern are fighting this Saturday, so I'd love, if Stern was to win, I know Brian Peters, my manager, was talking with Stern's people. There could be a good chance of a rematch there next year if he comes through this fight. If Gale was to win, I'd be confident that DiBella could probably get him over. Yeah. For Paddy's Day weekend again in New York. So
Matthew,
great trip for us.
Darren Barker has come out recently and said he's pretty much crocked or injured, or he's kind of at a crossroads as to what he's going to do. Do you think that's probably a fight that's not going to happen now?
I'm not sure. At the moment I'm just focused on please God become a world champion. Do you know what I mean? Fights with Barker and whoever else. Then we'll see down the line. But at the moment I'm kind of focused on just first Alcine, win this fight. And then after that, I'll be looking for a shot at the title and one, and looking to win it. I
know we probably ask you this all the time, Matthew, but we don't mind trips to America every now and then. But when are you coming back, or if you win a title and then you return? Here?
I'd love to box at the O2. Look, I'd love to, if I can win a title early next year. Yeah. I'd love a summer fight back in Ireland, definitely.
But to sum it up, basically, we're looking at get through this one, and you've got a world title fight afterwards, hopefully.
think so. Yeah. I think if Chavez wins, I think that I was over in El Paso at the fight.
Yeah.
I said there's a very good chance I'd fight Chavez. If Martinez wins, maybe I'd get this fight straight away. Maybe they'd look to make a different one because I just boxed him. But I think I'd get the winner with Galen Stone. But either way, I think a good performance here, and I'll be definitely back fighting for a world title.
There is a fight that you could come back to Ireland with. You'd probably pack out Semple Stadium. That would be Andy Lee. So just keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, no, definitely. That'd be a great defense. That would be the fight to have in Ireland.
Yeah. We'd certainly be looking forward to it. Well, listen, Matthew, as always, thanks for coming on the show. It's a pleasure to have you on, and best of luck. We'll be in touch shortly after your next fight. Right, thanks, Matt. See you, bye.
Bye.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for this month.
We could have got one or two more in, but you're in a rush.
Don't be hanging me out to dry like that, Johnny. Yeah, good show. We've got some more coming up next week. There's a lot of interesting events taking place between now and our next show. So
it'll start picking up now over the next month or so, and the season starts back, and it looks like it's going to be a great season for Irish boxing, especially if Eddie Hearn keeps running shows in Belfast. There'll be 6 or 7. There's 3 title fights, I think, on that.
Belfast a real hotspot of boxing at the moment.
Yeah. And there's a show in Dublin, hopefully October the 6th. So
stay tuned, and we'll see you next month.
Take care.